Good morning, everybody. This is Cassie Johnson with the Lake Mills Chamber, and I am here at Uptown Fitness and Yoga Studio with Anna Stene, who is owner of half a year?
Yeah, since September 1st.
September, okay,
yeah.
so
yeah.
Several months now.
Yeah.
You got your feet in the water, and we're going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about Uptown Fitness and Yoga Studio and what you have to offer the community?
Yeah, so Uptown Fitness and Yoga Studio and Uptown Boutique, we can kind of chat about both, but the studio offers fitness classes for all ages and all bodies. So there are customers that come here from anywhere from 18 to 85 years old. So it's offering classes to those people in the community and all ability levels and everything like that. It's unique because in the area, there's nowhere that offers fitness classes in anywhere else in Lake Mills, nowhere in Northwood, Buffalo Center, Forest City, even Albert Lee doesn't really have any actual studio classes.
So it's very fitness.
Yeah, so it's unique to the area. And we offer something for everybody, anywhere from a 30 to 40-minute class to hour-long classes, and all times of the day. So we have about 40 to 50 classes a month. So
wow,
yeah,
that's crazy. And you have different price options. So some people can just buy the Ultimate Pass and get to all classes they want. Yep. They can get a punch card. There's a couple other ones like that.
Yep. So our unlimited membership is any class you want, as many classes as you want for the whole month. So and that's reoccurring every month, and that's the best deal. And then you can also do punch cards. So you would just pay per class. So that would depend on how often that you're going to get to a class. So maybe you're not going to come, 2 times a week. Maybe you'll come less than that. Then maybe a punch card's better for you. Or even people that visit, if they're college students or if they just visit the area pretty often, they might do a punch card too. So we do have an annual membership too, where you can kind of save a month if you pay for a year in full too.
In advance. And that's unlimited, whatever you.
Yep, that's also unlimited.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And so I have just a kind of a screen rolling of your website, and it listed a few of the different classes you offer. Can you talk about the different classes you offer?
Sure. So we have, in our schedule in April and May looks a little bit different than March. So in April and May, we'll have Vinyasa, which I teach, and Hallie's also going to be teaching that. So that'll be twice a week at 5:15 a.m. So early risers, that's the class for them. And Vinyasa is, you can do it at any ability level. It's best, if you got something going on, to let the instructor know ahead of time, but we're always ready with customizations for anybody. So people that come that have knee replacements, hip replacements, they just let us know, and then we know kind of what to do for them. But Vinyasa can be for anybody. Gentle yoga is also coming back on the schedule in April and May. Yeah, I know you like that one. And so that will be Mondays and Wednesdays at 7, and we're excited to have that back on. And Gentle Yoga also has a chair option. So anybody wanting to do chair yoga can use a chair. And sometimes when I've taught Gentle Yoga, I know Heather's done it before, where the whole class just uses the chair, and then you get to kind of learn some different stretches that maybe you can do while you're at work or things like that.
Yeah, well, and you almost can go. You have support, so you can go deeper into some poses than you maybe would just trying to balance or trying to.
Yeah, and it might teach you things about your alignment and stuff like that. Just kind of using the wall might teach you about your alignment too. Hallie is also going to be teaching bar, but it will be listed as bar yoga. So we've had bar for a long time, and she's just going to incorporate more yoga into that. So bar is using some strength and little movements, but those little movements, you'll feel them the next day when you're walking up the stairs or whatever.
And that's for people who don't know, that's spelled B-A-R-R-E.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
We are next to the brewery, but yeah.
And then boot camp, Brooke Christensen teaches boot camp, which is lots of body weight exercises in kind of a circuit fashion. And so that one's fun, and it's a good workout. So that's either in the mornings, Mondays and Wednesdays, she does that at 5:15 a.m. And then Thursday evenings for just 30 minutes, but it's a good workout for 30 minutes. And then Heather in April will be doing Yoga Sculpt, which is a super fun class. I am also doing Yoga Sculpt on Monday nights in April. And Yoga Sculpt, I just did a training on Yoga Sculpt, so I'm like super excited about it. And I think people are getting more excited the more it pops up on the calendar. But it's set to like some fun like beat music, and you kind of move to the beat. So it's different from yoga in that way. And you might end up doing, there's a section of Yoga Sculpt where you're doing squats for the section, and then there's like a cardio section. So I think that Heather will probably add some like dance in there.
It's like a mix between yoga and maybe like an aerobics of some sort.
Yeah, exactly. And you're doing push-ups and curl, and it's with weights, but weights can be optional. So even though it's a faster paced class, there's lots of options for people during that class too.
Cool.
And then I think the last one would just be indoor cycling, and that's with Chris on Friday mornings at 5:15, and that's just a 30-minute class. So.
Okay, and I know that 5:15 number is kind of scary for some people that maybe aren't used to getting up that early. And maybe people in town, it's not too hard to get up here by that time. For some of the people that live a little farther away, you do have Zoom options on some of these classes as well.
Yeah, and anybody can do a Zoom if they just like let us know, like, hey, could you offer this class as a Zoom? We can easily add the link on there for them. I know I have one person that comes to Vinyasa almost every Thursday morning, but sometimes she's at home with the kids and dad's not home or whatever. So she'll just ask me if I can add the Zoom option, and that's how she does it. So yeah, lots of options.
So you have been now teaching yoga for quite a few years.
Yep, this will be my 3rd year.
How did you get started with yoga? Is it something you've always been doing? And then what's some of the process you have to do to get like certified to teach yoga?
Yeah, so I used to be big into running. It sounds like I wasn't always big into running, but there was a short period of my life where I got really into running. And then I ended up going into physical therapy twice from all the running. And, that's not what happens to everybody, but that's what happened to me and my body. Yep. So that's kind of when I started practicing yoga more. So that was around 2017, right around when I moved here.
Okay.
I'm an implant when I moved here. So I was kind of doing yoga wherever I could get it. I was up here when we were at the old studio, and then I would kind of go around to wherever I could find it at the time. And there were more options then because it was before COVID. You know, some studios have closed since then. Yep. But I was just trying to get it wherever I could. And then around December of 2019, I was like, maybe I should teach this. And it was a thought that like wouldn't go away. I couldn't let go. Like at night I was searching on my phone for where's the best place to get certified and stuff like that. So the certification process is, some people just think like, oh, it's a weekend training or something like that. It's super intense. So it's a 200-hour training. And I did mine at Green Lotus in the cities, and I would definitely recommend them. They were great to work with. And I did my training during 2020. So during COVID, I was still like determined to get it done. And so for me, it was 2 full weeks with like 8 to 10 hour days, and then plus a few weekends into the fall. So yeah, it's a pretty intense training. You get to know the people that you do your training with really well, and you have lots of like deep conversations, and you learn every little thing about every pose and all of the options for it, and then all the different breath techniques and all of that kind of stuff.
Well, some people who maybe are beginners to yoga or haven't done yoga don't realize that it's beyond physical. So like a lot of yoga is also working on your mental strength. Yeah,
exactly. The poses are really, so there's 8 limbs of yoga, but there's asana is the pose